Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, then we'll run through the UK Met Office run, have a look at the precipitation and temperature over the next 5 days, and then we'll look at the mid to long range, looking at the GFS, GEM, ECMWF and the ensembles. Now we are going into a pretty chilly spell over the next 3 or 4 days until around Tuesday, Wednesday time. It's looking like temperatures are going to be below average, some areas struggling in the low teens at 11-12 degrees for some, even some in the south as well, maybe even high single digits. And the reason for that is we've got a cold northeasterly wind. Cold for this time of year, I must be very specific there. It's not freezing cold by any means, but very cold for this time of year. A lot of precipitation around as this high pressure drags out into the Atlantic. However, we're seeing one little positive in the longer term as we're towards next weekend into the Jubilee bank holiday weekend where we have 4 days off. It does look like things could be turning a little bit warmer. No heat wave by any means, but things returning to maybe around or slightly above average, maybe into the low 20s. Still though, there will be some showers, but it does look like perhaps shower risk will reduce, but we'll have a look at that in more detail near the time, but also hint on it in today's video. Just remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So you look at the United Kingdom, look on the live radar at the moment, you can see it is very dry. Now, we don't have too much precipitation around, apart from the odd shower down the east coast, and this is the hint of that northeasterly wind arriving. The cold air is now filtering in from the northeast. It's not going to be too bad today, but temperatures are on the down over the next sort of 24 hours or so. So Sunday, Monday and Tuesday all looking quite chilly. Highest temperatures potentially in the south and the west of the United Kingdom, of England and Wales, perhaps southern parts of Ireland as well. Could get up to 17 or 18 degrees, but elsewhere 15 degrees could be the max, and we could be struggling to get that. Many areas could even be, as I said, around 11 to 13 degrees. But you can see those showers pushing in, and those are going to get really more widespread over the next few days. Widespread light to moderate showers, some even heavy showers potentially in that. It's going to be very cloudy as well. It's going to be quite a miserable outlook. But things improving perhaps for the Jubilee weekend. So if we do have a look at the temperatures, as of around 2:30, as I'm recording this, you can see temperatures are not good, but they're not that bad. You can see the temperatures are starting to drop along that east coast, all the way through Norwich to Scarborough, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, all the way up into eastern Scotland. You can see some blues starting to appear, and that colder air starting to filter through in around that sort of 11, 12, 13 degree mark, and that's going to become more widespread. You can see again further southwards and westwards more yellows and oranges showing up, which is mid to high teens, 17, 18, 19 degrees being seen. You've got a widespread region in central southern England into the southwest, and quite a lot of southern parts of Ireland as well. But as I said, that colder air is going to be filtering in over the next 24 hours, so expect these oranges to diminish and more blues and lighter, fainter yellows to start appearing. So if we do now have a look at the UK Met Office run, just have a look and we'll be seeing over the next 5 days. Now you can see as of around 3 PM this afternoon, you can see those few showers drifting in on the east coast, but the bulk of the showers have not arrived yet. Through Saturday evening into early hours of Sunday, you can start seeing more showers pushing in along the east coast, and by around Sunday lunchtime, we're starting to see more extensive shower activity across England, and that shower activity will decrease a little bit through the evening with the cooler air, but by Sunday evening you can see that real widespread shower risk pushing into the east and the north, some snow potentially over the Scottish Highlands. And you head through Monday afternoon, look at that widespread showers. Quite moderate, no massive heavy showers. You can see a few reds here and there, but nothing too crazy. So no thunderstorms or anything, but a lot of miserable weather, a lot of damp, cloudy conditions. You can see very little sunshine, maybe apart from the far south coast. Through Monday into Tuesday, we see more showery outbreaks, perhaps more sunshine along coastal areas, but inland it's going to be really quite miserable, especially along the east coast. Southern and western coasts could be a little bit better. The cloud does dissipate a little bit through Tuesday evening and into Wednesday, another showery day. Perhaps, though, temperatures picking up a little bit with that cold air cut off a little bit. We're still, though, under lower pressure. But as I said, as we head towards Thursday and Friday, it does look like that shower risk will diminish with higher pressure building back in and some warmer air. You can see high pressure bumping back in from the west by the end of the run. And if you have a look at the 850 HPA temperatures, you can see at the moment we've got this very chilly air filtering in from the east that will move down the whole country, sort of warming up as it does though, because of course we are end of May, early June, so sort of -3, -4 degrees at 850 HPA isn't going to last more than a day or so. And you can see generally quite chilly for most areas, around 0 degrees to -2, -3 degrees at 850 HPA. And then we run through that, and you can see eventually by Tuesday evening, Wednesday, and into Thursday time, we start to see maybe 2, 3, 4 degrees at 850 HPA in the south, which could give temperatures back into the mid to high teens. But it is going to be a slow warm up, and it will only really warm up back towards average, which is around 5 degrees at 850 HPA by around Friday, Saturday time. So Thursday still could be quite a chilly day. Now, if we do have a look at max temperatures, of course, this afternoon you can see we're going to see those widespread sort of 17 to 19 degrees across central and southern areas, but on that east coast, 12, 13, 14 degrees. Now, if we do run through to Sunday afternoon, you can see those temperatures are more confined, those warmer temperatures are more confined, maybe 15, 16, 17 degrees along the far south coast, and maybe 17, 18 degrees across southern parts of Ireland, but widely sort of 13, 14 degrees, and maybe only 10 or 12 degrees along that east coast. Now, if you do run through to Monday afternoon, you can see again, widely sort of 12 to 14 degrees, maybe 15, 16, 17 degrees, and a few isolated spots. And you can see some areas over higher ground hardly getting above 8 or 9 degrees, really chilly. And Tuesday, similar. You could see maybe an isolated little bit of warmth in the far southeast, but that's because we're seeing a little bit of cloud breaks there. But under the cloud and rain further inland and further northwards, still only 10 to 14 degrees. And by Wednesday, that warmer air, or the warmer conditions, or mildest condition, really call it that, warm, but 16 to 18 degrees, becoming more widespread across southern and central areas and parts of Ireland as well. And I'd expect by Thursday, even though it's quite a chilly start, we'd start to see those 17, 18 degrees become more widespread further northwards as well. So yeah, it's getting chilly. Particularly chilly over the next 3 days, 3-4 days, before it does slowly warm back up. So we do now have a look at the GFS, have a look what the longer term, or mid to longer term, does show. So you see the high pressure out to our west at the moment. We're pulling in that cooler green low pressure systems, little trough, not massive low pressure. That's why we're not seeing big weather fronts with it, just some convective showers. And that does sort of mill around all the way until it starts to dissipate around Thursday time and high pressure builds back in. But you can see quite a slack flow, so we're not seeing a massive transition in air masses, so it's only a very slow warm-up, as I said. High pressure building in, and for the Jubilee weekend, it looks dry. We haven't got a massive high pressure system over the top of us, so there will be some showers around, but it won't be too extensive. And you can see it could be a little bit warm, just depending on how quickly that air does warm up and how much sunshine we see. Beyond that, high pressure is in control, but we're trying to see low pressure pushing in off the Atlantic, so it could see showers at times. And wherever we do see this tightening of the ice bars to our west, we could start to pull up a bit of a warmer air mass from the south. At times, that is, but generally high pressure in control in the south, lower pressure closer to the north, so more showers, more cooler conditions, but nothing too crazy in terms of unsettled weather. Now, if we look at the 850 HPA temperatures, you can see all that greens out in the North Sea. It doesn't look that cold compared to sort of wintry conditions, but for the time of year, that is pretty chilly air. That's Arctic air. And you can see it does push across the whole country over the next day or so. And through Monday and Tuesday, it's really chilly. But you can see it does warm up quickly. Yellows start to take over, and that's just the air mass warming up because of the sunshine. And our latitude, and you can see towards the Jubilee weekend, you see that 5-degree isotherm trying to push northwards, and eventually towards Saturday, Sunday, we see that 10-degree isotherm take over, and potentially the 10-degree isotherm in the far south, which could give temperatures into the low to mid-20s. So as I said, possibilities for later in the Jubilee weekend, Saturday, Sunday time, we could see something quite a bit warmer, perhaps. If we do just temporarily zoom into the United Kingdom have a look at those 2 meter temperatures, you can see again 20 degrees possible in central southern England, and if I do actually put that, you get 20 degrees possible in central southern England, and you can see the near continent getting up towards 28 degrees. Again, so slight push of warmer air could bring those temperatures higher, and again, this is a lower resolution model in the long term, so it's likely to be a couple of degrees warmer than that. So the Jubilee weekend could be decent in the second half. You see 22 degrees is possible on Sunday afternoon as well, so it could look pretty decent for the second half of the weekend. Still a bit of time away, so we still things can change, but it does look decent. Beyond that, higher pressure is still in control with a relatively warm air mass, nothing too substantial, but then you see low pressure trying to push it in off the Atlantic, and you could see some warmer spurts of air potentially, but it does look like generally we'll be around slightly above, slightly below average. At times, more likely to be above average in the south, more likely to be below average in the north. So you do now see how the GEM compares to this. You can see again, high pressure moving out to our west and north, low pressure bumping into that with cooler air, unsettled conditions, but by Friday time we see that high pressure building back in, and by Saturday time it's firmly in control, but unlike the GFS run, low pressure is dominating in the north, bringing much cooler and unsettled conditions. That warm air is just to our south, but much cooler, wetter conditions in the north. So you can see the GEM has put a spanner in the works there. We're developing this low and not allowing the high pressure to take over as much, and this would be really chilly and unsettled. Really not nice for the end of the Jubilee weekend, for it does look like high pressure will try and build in from the south. Now, if you have a look at the ECMWF, see how that does compare. High pressure building over the top of the UK, low pressure running in, of course, with that cooler upper air mass. Shower activity increasing, and then as we head into the Jubilee weekend, high pressure builds back in, especially for Saturday and Sunday, very similar to the GFS, looking really quite nice. However, you can see there is a low pressure system just to our south, which could, mixing in with this very warm air we'd be pulling in from the near continent, create major thunderstorms again, potentially. So you can see three different scenarios from the models. Definitely does look like it's favouring potentially turning a bit warmer and dry with higher pressure in control, and that sort of northerly cold low pressure doesn't look as likely. But you can see the ECMWF definitely goes more thundery, especially for the end of the Jubilee weekend into next Monday in around 8, 9, 10 days time. So very interesting seeing that from the ECMWF today. So do finish the video by having a look at the ensembles. You can see the cold air mass we do have at the moment, a good 5 to 7 degrees below average. Some ensemble members even get down to 8, 9, 10 degrees below average. And you can see as we head towards the Jubilee weekend, those temperatures slowly rise to around, maybe slightly above average for the start of June, depending on the exact ensemble. Some a little bit cooler, some a little bit warmer, and those differences will decide whether it's mid to low 20s or high teens. That's what we're going to have to be looking at. And you can see precipitation isn't completely gone. Yes, there's going to be frequent showers around. Doesn't look like it's going to be massive bands of precipitation. There's going to be some good weather for quite a few, but there is always going to be the risk of a few showers. Of course, we can't get it into the high resolution time frame yet. That's 5 days. So we'll be able to have a look at detail with any precipitation and exact surface temperatures, perhaps in the next sort of 2 or 3 days' time for the Jubilee weekend. But for the time being, it's looking like showers around, but warming temperatures, getting into the low 20s for some. In the longer term, temperatures are around average and very similar in the precipitation. It does look like there is a bit of a split. High pressure does look like it's going to be in control, but quite a few ensemble members have low pressure close by, still giving us some showers, but not massive persistent bands of rain. And you have a look at the sea level pressure, you see dropping drastically over the next couple of days before rising towards the Jubilee weekend, but not massively. So still not a crazy big high pressure system, and that's why there's still going to be showers around. And look at the 2 metre temperatures, and you can see very chilly over the next 2 or 3 days before rising by a degree or two every single day, all the way until next weekend, when it does look like it will be returning to the high teens, low 20s, and again could be a little bit higher than these ensembles showing, because of course they are lower resolution. So if you finish the video by having a look at the ECMWF ensembles, you can see very chilly, as I said, over the next 3 or 4 days before rising to around average for the Jubilee weekend. Quite a few more ECMWF ensembles have more precipitation for the Jubilee weekend. Again, there's 50 ensemble members here, so you'd expect more spikes than the GFS ensembles, but there are quite a few converging in around that 3rd of June mark, so that's not looking particularly great for next Friday. Potentially, though, as we head into the weekend, so the 4th, 5th, it could dry up a little bit with warmer upper air conditions, so we could be seeing a start to the Jubilee weekend a little bit chillier, more shower activity, warming up into Saturday, Sunday, turning things a little bit dry, but still a few showers around. And maybe if we see something similar to the ECMWF, could see a bit of a thundery breakdown on Monday. Now, of course, still a bit of speculation here because we are 7 days away still. So there is very big uncertainties, exact conditions, but that's looking like the general trend. A little bit cooler and more unsettled on Thursday, warming up slightly on Friday with still some showers, and then Saturday and Sunday could be the best days with warmer conditions. Nothing hot by any means, but maybe low 20s, and some things a little bit drier, perhaps. But again, all depends on the positioning of the high pressure, and if we do see any low pressure systems undercutting it, or if we even see something like the GM where the low pressure comes in from the north. But that isn't looking like the most likely scenario at this stage. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying your weekend at the moment. And fingers crossed we do see some good weather for at least a few of the days into the Jubilee weekend. It's only coming up really in sort of 3-4 days time when everyone's will be on a bank holiday. So as I said, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.